Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 3,000 point Dawn Attack game I had with my Dwarves against another person's Demons of Chaos. So looking at the board here, on my side I had a hill. That next thing is a Blessed Barwark, or whatever you call it. There's a Dwarven Brewhouse in the center of the board. The top left there on her side, that's these ruins where if you're within 6, your wizards can try channeling more times. Going for the units here, I had a cannon on the hill, I had a unit of 20 hammerers with my dwarf lord, organ gun, big unit of 50 warriors with shields, and in that unit is my BSB. You can see that I had a gyrocopter that vanguarded up to the brew house, and on her side up there she has 15 seekers. She has her keeper of secrets, 5 flesh hounds, a Karnak, 6 flamers, big unit of horrors with the herald. Then you can just see the edge of it, some demonettes, and there's a herald in there too. And then continuing with her, the only other thing she had is behind that, it's like the chaos village thing, whatever you call it, the one's a 12. She had a big unit of the bloodletters with herald, and then also the screamers. There's 6 of them back there as well. And then switching back to my side, I had a grudge thrower, I had an organ gun. Behind all this I had the anvil of doom. There's some woods here. Then I had a cannon and 40 great weapon dwarf warriors. And you can see on the right side I have some big unit of miners there, but they'll be coming in later. So some pre-game thoughts here. Getting this Dawn Attack where you have random spots where you have to deploy your units. I really thought I was going to be in trouble with dwarves because you want a castle and all these things, but really didn't work out too badly as most things were in the center. There was that big unit to turn out on the right, but that wasn't so bad. And then it just turned out that for her and the demons, almost all of them went over to the left flank there. And then on the right, that unit got stuck behind that building because, well, this is one of the things where I think this is the one mistake that my opponent made during the game, is that those bloodletters could have been easily more to the side, and they could have just kind of walked over those hedges there. And I think she was just trying to protect them from shooting and things, and was hoping to sneak around the flank. But now they're going to be slowed down when we go through the building. So my plan going into this is going to be basically to engage everything on the left side. Take on the hounds and whatever I can with the warriors. Meanwhile, I'll bring in the dwarves from the side. For the demonettes, my great weapon ones will kind of be moving up and engage them. And with extra long charge range and with the anvil movement, I should be able to get there before the bloodletters do. And if everything goes right, I won't even be fighting with the bloodletters. So we'll see if it all works out, though. So I had first turn, and I had a mistake with deployment too, where I forgot that if you're near that brew house, dwarves are stubborn, but you also have to pass a leadership on -3 or 4 to move away from it. So when I moved my gyrocopter there, I had to pass the leadership to even move away. But luckily I passed it. It zipped up because it marched, it couldn't shoot, and just kind of moved up my combat blocks. Did some shooting, but he made his ward saves, and so they were just stopped there, the cannonballs and things. And same thing on this side, the warriors are just moving up. The only damage at all I did this turn was using the anvil on the flamers, and I only did 1 wound, so not very much at all. Alright, Demon's turn 1, and she comes at me fast. The Seekers zip around the one flank there. The Hounds went through the ruins there, and one of them tripped and took a wound. She tried channeling from that thing, but didn't get any extra. And I have so much magic defense in this list that the only thing that she got through, because I thought it was, pointless, is on my hammers she made them stupid. So leadership 10 re-rolled. I was not worried about it at all. And on this side, the demonettes have moved up, and now I'm not knowing if I can get to them in time. I probably should use the anvil to move those great weapon guys up, because now I think they could be in charge range of my war machines already, so that's no good. And those screamers are coming in, but I'm pretty sure they're in range of my organ gun, and my organ gun can mess up those screamers pretty bad. Dwarves turn 2. My miners come in basically on the hill, swing around to see the flank. I anvil them into the flank, and after I lose 2 of my own guys, I totally wipe out that unit. My hammerers charge his flesh hounds. There's a challenge between my lord and Karnak, and it turns out that Karnak was hunting my lord. But my lord's really tough. He has this one weapon where he's +2 strength and does d6 wounds. So he just slaughters characters in combat. So I beat him, a couple more phased, and now there's just the 2 left. I flew behind him with my gyrocopter, flamed a couple of horrors. Tried doing some damage to the greater demon, but failed. Cannon didn't do anything, but at least then I switched to my organ gun and killed a couple of flamers, so that's good. And then here on the other side, I tried a desperate long distance charge with my warriors there, but I rolled like a 2 and a 1, so it was a failed charge, and now I'm nowhere close to where I need to be. Some shooting did some damage to the demonettes, killed 6 of them. Organ gun killed 3 of the screamers, so that's good, that makes them less effective. But that's all I really got done on my turn, and I had to wait to see what she was going to do. Alright, so Demon's turn 2, she was kind of indecisive what would be the best thing to do, because she knows hordes are dangerous, and even though she knows that she could be beating me up with her greater demon in this combat, that with all the little attacks coming back, eventually I would probably do some real damage to her and probably even kill her before I break with how stubborn I am. So the idea was to tie me up with the horrors and then try and move around the side with the Keeper of Secrets, or try and do some magic to me. It wasn't far enough to give a flank charge, and then the magic phase was totally shut down, so that didn't really matter. And then my hammers finished off the hounds, reformed the face, the center there. You can see the demonettes did not go for the war machine. They're swinging around the brew house, so they can rear charge those warriors there. On the other side, the bloodletters have now gone into the building and out of the building, and they're really close, so I know that there's no way I'm going to catch those demonettes with the great weapon warriors, so I might as well tie up these guys. And meanwhile, the screamers have flew over my warriors and my cannon, killing 3 of my warriors and failing to do any damage to the toughness 7 cannon. Dwarves turn 3. My hammerers, I anvil them into the flank of the greater demon. There's a challenge. I forget how deadly that greater demon is, because now she rerolls to hit, because it always strikes first and a higher initiative. Luckily, I just barely stay alive with 1 wound, and then do very well back, and is able to kill the greater demon with my lord, overrun into the flank of the horrors, do a bunch of damage to them. They rolled insane courage though, so they stuck. And then on this side, you can't see it, but I organ gunned the screamers, finished them off. The dwarf warriors here, I thought I'd have to swift reform, move up, and then anvil into them, but it turned out I could just see them with the edge of my 45 degrees to see the edge of the bloodletter. And because I don't need to roll high enough to move into them, I just get that free big wheel, and I just need to roll high enough to get that distance between us. I was able to roll that, and I get to charge off without the anvil, which allowed the lord that charge into the greater demon there. So the result of this combat, a whole bunch of dead on both sides, but now that the hatred is gone, it's now going to be in my favor. And so at this point, my opponent just gives up, because they just have the horror block that's about to be wiped out, some flamers that my miners are hunting down, and these guys, so it's pretty much done. Some thoughts on the battle. Obviously I'm very happy. I think it was shown here that the hordes of dwarf warriors is another viable tactic. The great weapon ones were doing a lot of damage, and the ones with shields just for being able to hold things up. Still liking that lord with that doomsday weapon, able to kill lots of characters. And I'm really thinking the dwarves are going to do fairly well in 8th. They seem to have a lot of the tools that you need, the good infantry, the good war machines. Even though they have access to a lot of the new fancy stuff, they still can have great magic defense. And demons, with these bloodletters, if they would have been more around the building so they could have got to combat faster. I really don't know what she could have done with the lord. I don't think it would have been a good idea to charge in. I mean, she could challenge and kill my BSB, but still have been caught in there, and I just would have flanked anyway, so wouldn't have made any difference. But yeah, anyway, it was a fun game, and I'll see you later. Bye.